What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ, Player Profile. Today we're going to focus in on Toronto Maple Leafs winger Joffrey Lupul. Obviously, having a career year this year with the Leafs. He's, 6 points away from matching his career high in 44 games, which is outstanding. Little background on Mr. Lupul: the Pride of Saskatchewan, Fort Saskatchewan, and Alberta, which is, I'm sure, a very good place. Sounds good old prairie town. Gonna love it. 7th overall in the 2002 draft to the Anaheim, at the time, Mighty Ducks, but thank God they dropped that name. Made his debut in 03-04 and had his career year the first year after the lockout. 53 points in 81 games for the Ducks. Got traded to Edmonton as part of the Pronger deal. Then got moved on to Philly for as part of the Jason Smith for Yoni Pickett trade. And then back to Anaheim in the Chris Pronger trade, and then to Toronto with Jake Gardiner for Francois Beauchemin, who, I think Toronto's already won that trade. Lupul's been great, obviously, and so Gardiner's got high upside, and Beauchemin and the Ducks have struggled for the most part this year. But he's had great chemistry with Kessel. He has great chemistry with Kessel. Excuse me. The two of them have really worked well with each other, and Kessel's really blossoming into the superstar that. He's put up 30 goals each of the last, I think, 4 years. His first 3 years. First few years with the Leafs, and then his last year with the Bruins at 30. But he's really blossoming into being that maybe a top 10 or 12 player in the NHL, and Lupul is more or less riding shotgun. But he's contributing as well. He's got a great shot, great goal scorer's mentality. And like I said, him and Kessel have worked great off each other, which is what you need. Lupul had a career-threatening back injury and an infection after that when he's in his second go-round with Anaheim, and that looked like his career could have been over, but had missed literally a full season of hockey, a full calendar year, and he's got moved to Toronto, and he's been great ever since. I think a lot of times when you're a top 10 pick and you're not producing 80, 90 points a year, you're labeled a bust. But he's contributed in his own way. He had that big goal in Game 7 of the Philly-Washington series in 2008. He had a 4-goal game in the playoffs with Anaheim in 2006. So he's got the clutch scoring ability, which the Leafs look to return to the playoffs the first time since the lockout, and not only go back to the playoffs, make a nice run. They're gonna use his experience and big game play, if you will. But it's getting a little too far ahead of ourselves talking about the playoffs. I really like what he's doing. It's great to see a guy that had his career threatened put up great numbers. I just hope they're not against the Bruins, obviously, but you got to kind of root for that. And a guy that was labeled a bust, was labeled an underachiever, someone that didn't have the best work ethic, I think was another thing. His compete level was questioned many times by many hockey critics, myself included. But he's done great this year, and I really look forward. He's going to be in the All-Star game, and I think it's vindication for a guy that has gone through a lot in his hockey career, and ultimately come out on top, hopefully. What else can I say about him? Really, he's pride of the Medicine Hat Tigers, great Western Hockey League program. Played at the World Juniors for Canada in 2003. Had 3 points in 6 games. The 2002 draft was kind of pretty disappointing. Rick Nash being the one standout that's been great, and even he's been, I think part of that's the nature of the beast of where he's playing. But Kari Lehtinen, even that Kari Lehtinen starting to live up to expectations. He was able to bust, and a change of scenery really suited him well. Lupul's had multiple changes of scenery, back and forth a couple times, but I think he's going to settle in, and I know the fans in Toronto are glad to have him, and as a hockey fan, it's glad to see a guy that has gone through a lot and really started to experience success, which I've said about 3 times, but that's the truth. That's it for the Power Play with CJ, Player Profile, and Joffrey Lupul. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season.